Last Supper. When evening came, Jesus was reclining at the table with the 12. And while they were eating, he said, "Truly I tell you, one of you will betray me." They were very sad and began to say to him, one after the other, "Surely you don't mean me, Lord." Jesus replied, "The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will betray me. The Son of Man will go just as it is written about him. But woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born." Then Judas, the one who would betray him, said, "Surely you don't mean me, Rabbi." Jesus answered, "You have said so." While they were eating, Jesus took bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat. This is my body." Then he took a cup, and when he had given thanks, he gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will not drink from the fruit of the vine from now on until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." They went out to the Mount of Olives, to the Garden of Gethsemane.
The Garden of Gethsemane. When they arrived at the garden, Jesus told them, "This very night you will all fall away on account of me, for it is written, 'I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock will be scattered.' But after I have risen, I will go ahead of you into Galilee." Peter replied, "Even if all fall away on account of you, I never will." "Truly I tell you," Jesus answered, "this very night, before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." But Peter declared, "Even if I have to die with you, I will never disown you." And all the other disciples said the same. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray." He took Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee along with him, and he began to be sorrowful and troubled. Then he said to them, "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me." Going a little farther, Jesus fell with his face to the ground and prayed, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." Then he returned to his disciples and found them sleeping. "Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour?" he asked Peter. "Peter, watch and pray, so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." Jesus went away a second time and prayed, "My Father, if it is not possible for this cup to be taken away unless I drink it, may your will be done." When he came back, he again found them sleeping, because their eyes were heavy. So he left them and went away once more, and prayed the 3rd time, saying the same thing. Then he returned to the disciples and said to them, "Are you still sleeping and resting? Look, the hour has come, and the Son of Man is delivered into the hands of sinners. Rise, let us go. Here comes my betrayer." While he was still speaking, Judas, one of the 12, arrived. With him was a large crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them, "The one I kiss is the man, arrest him." Going at once to Jesus, Judas said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him. Jesus replied, "Do what you came for, friend." Then the men stepped forward, seized Jesus, and arrested him. With that, one of Jesus' companions reached for his sword, drew it out, and struck the servant of the high priest, cutting off his ear. "Put your sword back in its place," Jesus said to him, "for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels? But how then would the scriptures be fulfilled that say it must happen in this way?" Jesus said to the crowd, "Am I leading a rebellion, that you have come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple courts teaching, and you did not arrest me. But this has all taken place that the writings of the prophets might be fulfilled." Then all the disciples deserted him and fled.
Peter's denial. Those who had arrested Jesus took him to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the teachers of the law and the elders had assembled. But Peter followed him at a distance, right up to the courtyard of the high priest. He entered and sat down with the guards to see the outcome. Now as Peter was sitting out in the courtyard, a servant girl came to him. "You also were with Jesus of Galilee," she said. But he denied it before them all. "I don't know what you're talking about," he said. Then he went out to the gateway, where another servant girl saw him, and said to the people there, "This fellow was with the Jesus of Nazareth." But he denied it again, with an oath, "I don't know the man." After a little while, those standing there went up to Peter and said, "Surely you are one of them. Your accent gives you away." Then he began to call down curses, and when he swore to them, "I don't know the man," immediately a rooster crowed. Then Peter remembered the word Jesus had spoken, "Before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times." And he went outside and wept bitterly.
The first station. Jesus is condemned to die. Jesus stands in the most human of places. He has already experienced profound solidarity with so many on this earth by being beaten and tortured. Jesus' hands are tied behind his back. Now he is wrongfully condemned to punishment by death. His commitment to enter in our lives completely begins his final steps. He has said yes to God and placed his life in God's hands. We follow him in this final surrender and contemplate with reverence each place along the way as he's broken and given for us. As I view this scene, I become moved by both outrage and gratitude. I look at Jesus, his face, the crown of thorns, the blood, his clothes stuck to the wounds on his back. Pilate washes his hands of the whole affair. This is for me, that I might be free, that I might have eternal life. As the journey begins, I ask to be with Jesus. I silently express my love and thanks. Jesus is made to carry the cross on which he will die. It represents the weight of all our crosses, what he must have felt as he first took it upon his shoulders. With each step, he enters more deeply into our human experience. He walks in the path of human misery, suffering, the betrayal of his closest friends, abandonment, and experiences the same crushing weight we do. I silently ask him for help in my struggles and thank him for loving me so much. The second station. Jesus carries his cross. I contemplate the wood of that cross. I imagine how heavy it is. I reflect upon all it means that Jesus is carrying it. I look into his eyes. It's all there. This is for me, so I place myself with him in this journey, in his anguish, in his freedom and surrender, in the love that must fill his heart. With sorrow and gratitude, I continue the journey, moved by the power of his love. I am drawn to him and express silently my love in the words that come to me.
Hi, my name's Justin. Some of you may know me as Jesus. Well, I'm here to remind all of you that everyone bears a cross, whether it's being a team captain, losing a family member, or something much more personal. Everyone has a cross to bear. The best we can really hope for is to have someone else there to help us carry that cross. From 4th grade through 9th grade, I had no one to help me carry my cross. I was bullied relentlessly. I entered the 4th grade at Mother of Sorrows after Holy Cross shut down. I was never bullied before, so I was really excited to go to a brand new school with brand new kids. I made some new friends and I was really happy. Looking back, I should have never made friends with those kids. They were really rude and made fun of other kids behind their backs and some even to their faces. But I just wanted to be accepted. I didn't know who else to make friends with. Halfway through the year, they shifted their jokes towards me. I couldn't understand why all of my friends, who I thought were my best friends at the time, would just suddenly out of nowhere decide to start making fun of me so much. One kid in particular, who I thought I had made really good friends with, started calling me by the name Justin Gavins instead of Justin Havens. Every time he saw me in the hallway, every time he saw me in class, he was there to say, "Hey Gavins, how's it going? How are you doing today? What's up, Gavins?" Within days, he got everyone else that I knew and thought that I was friends with to start calling me by the same name. Every time they saw me, "Hey look, there's Gavins. Oh hey, there goes Gavins. Where's he going?" I couldn't understand why all of my friends, who for months told me they were my friends, would just suddenly decide to start making fun of me so harshly. And not only making fun of me, but making fun of my family. One day, the child who started calling me Gavins continued to call me Gavins so much that I got upset. I couldn't take it anymore. I was sick of hearing my name and my family's name being abused. So I went outside where he was, and I swung at him. I missed, and he swung back and swung back and swung back and keep swinging until he broke my nose, or just about. There was blood everywhere, and I had gotten beaten up in front of all of my former friends. After that, that boy was expelled from the school, and no one called me Gavins again. But kids still made fun of me behind my back. I still didn't know who to call my best friend. I still didn't know who to even call friend. And that continued until I went to McQuaid in 7th grade. Again, I was going to a new school with new children who didn't know me, who didn't know me by Gavins. And I was excited because my friend from soccer was the only person I really knew there. So we became really close friends. Then after a few weeks of school, kids from the grade above me, kids who I'd never met before and didn't know, started to walk by me, and as soon as they would see me, they would point and say Flamer or Ginger. Pretty soon, the entire 8th grade that was anywhere in my vicinity would start to call me a ginger. A stupid, annoying ginger. I didn't know why all these people I didn't know, people I'd never met before, spoken to, or heard their names, were coming up to me and calling me a ginger and making fun of me just for my hair color. But I was okay with this because I still had one friend, at least one, who would help me carry my cross. Well, halfway through the year, he joined in. But he took it to another level. He would write on my locker the word ginger, or flamer, or fire crotch. And I had to look at that every time I opened my locker, every time I went to get books. He took his bullying to Facebook as well. Pretty soon, other kids in my grade, along with other kids from the grade above me, who I still didn't know, were finding my Facebook and posting on there that I was a ginger, an ugly, annoying flamer. I couldn't understand why all of these people would do something like this at 2 different schools. I later made friends with another boy in the 8th grade. Every time kids would walk by and call me a ginger or another ginger-related word, he would tell me to ignore them. Well, halfway through that year, he decided he didn't like me either. He would start to take my books and tease me and make sure I didn't have my stuff for class. One time he just took my planner and never gave it back. And I had no idea what to do for homework. I had no friends. I was scared. And everyone who called me a ginger would circle around me and begin telling me to kill myself because I'm a ginger, a worthless ginger. Why should I live? And there's so many other great people with non-ginger hair. I didn't know what other options I had, and I thought no one cared about me. So on February 2nd, 2012, I spent my 13th birthday in the psych ward for attempted suicide. When I went back to school, somehow other kids knew. They already knew the very next day. And they would approach me, and rather than circle up and tell me to kill myself, they would circle up and say I was weak. Because I was too much of a coward to actually do it. That continued for the rest of the year, and still continued through 9th grade. I couldn't understand why an entire school that was based on brotherhood would pick one child to condemn to death. But after 9th grade, my parents finally allowed me to switch schools. And because they wouldn't allow me to go to public school, I chose Aquinas. So, 10th grade, I was scared. Coming to a new school with more new kids who I didn't know, who in my mind were most likely going to make fun of me for my hair just because they didn't know me and didn't like my hair. But that didn't happen. I was immediately accepted. I found friends, and I thought that they wouldn't last, like all my other friends. But they stayed. They didn't make fun of me. They didn't call me a flamer, or a fire crotch, or any of those other words. My friends here at Aquinas would never think of ever doing such a thing to me. And they have helped me lift that cross that I bore for so many years, that I could never be good enough, that nothing I do would ever take away the fact that I'm a ginger. But none of my friends have ever even said the word ginger to me. Everyone bears a cross. You might not know by looking at them, or you might know, but either way, you You can never truly know what that person experienced. You should always be mindful of that. Thank you.
The third station. Jesus falls the first time. The weight is unbearable. Jesus falls under it. How could he enter our lives completely without surrendering to the crushing weight of the life of so many on this earth? He lies on the ground and knows the experience of weakness beneath unfair burdens. He feels the powerlessness of wondering if he will ever be able to continue. I can look at his whole body and see the exhaustion. As I behold him there on the ground, being roughly pulled up and made to continue, I know forever how profoundly he understands my fatigue and my defeats. This is for me, in grief and gratitude, I want to let him remain there. As I watch him and stand again and gain an inner strength, I accept his love. Let us now silently express our thanks.
The fourth station, Jesus meets his mother. Jesus' path takes him to a powerful source of his strength to continue. All his life, his mother has taught him the meaning of the words, "Behold the handmaid of the Lord." They reach out to one another for a last living touch. How pierced through Mary's heart must be. How pained Jesus must be to see her tears. Now her presence blesses his mission and stirs it to its depth. Love and trust in God bind them together. As I watch them in this place along the way, I contemplate the mystery of love's power to give strength. Mary knows the sorrow in every mother's heart who has lost a child to tragedy or violence. I look at the two of them very carefully and long for the peace and love they find in each other in this most brutal of times. That love and peace are here for me as well. Such incredible freedom, such incredible love and strength. The fifth station. Simon helps Jesus carry his cross. Jesus even experiences our struggle to receive help. He's made to experience the poverty of not being able to carry his burden alone. He enters into the experience of all who must depend upon others to survive. He's deprived of the satisfaction of carrying his burden on his own. I look at his weariness and fragility, his impotence. I see how he looks at Simon with the utmost humility and gratitude. This is for me when people offer to help me and I want to refuse. I express my thanks that Jesus helps me carry my cross and that he has help. I silently express what's in my heart.
Hello. For those who don't know me, my name is Peter Huber, and I've been a part of the Aquinas family since I was in 7th grade. I've found that in my time here at Aquinas, it not only prepares you for college, but prepares you for life. At Aquinas, you're not taught just about academics, but also making yourself aware of people around you and your role in society. I personally believe that we as Aquinas students are fortunate enough to be able to be a part of this program and do wonderful things with these opportunities presented before us. We as high school or middle school students are the future of our world and have the ability to make a huge positive impact on someone's life. As I look at Simon of Cyrene in this 5th station, I can't help but stand in awe at what just happened. Simon's willingness to help Jesus carry his extremely heavy cross shows his dedication to helping his fellow man. He even did this as crowds of people yelled out curses, spat on, and mocked Jesus for his alleged crimes. Despite all of this physical and mental torture, Simon persevered and helped Jesus along the path to crucifixion. Thinking about all of this makes me question what I can do for others, in spite of ridicule and mockery. and the only answer that came up to my mind was not much. We are caught in a society full of hate, violence, and negativity, that even the slightest mockery towards a person could escalate to an unbearable amount. So much so that it almost feels like Simon's struggle to carry Jesus' heavy cross. As I said, we are given many opportunities here at Aquinas, and we can take advantage of these opportunities in any kinds of trouble, no matter what services you need, no matter what or who you are comfortable with. We can take care of you. We can help you carry the cross you bear. While we can also help ourselves, I think that it is also important for us to recognize our role in society as those role models. In a world full of hate, violence, and negativity, we need to be the role models for others by setting the example for the way all people should act. We are human. We all make mistakes sometimes. But if we can make a positive impact in one person's life, we have made this world a better place. And it's your job to figure out how to be that role model in society. So be that person. Make the decisions that you feel are right. Be the role model that this world needs, and that I know you all can be. I'd like to leave you with a final quote from the musical Something Rotten, because I'm a musical nerd. Sure as the day follows the night, sure as the sky turns to blue, this much I know, this much is true. Above all else, in whatever you do, to thine own self be true. Thank you.
The sixth station. Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. Jesus' journey is at times brutal. He's entered into the terrible experiences of rejection and injustice. He has been whipped and beaten. His face shows the signs of solidarity with all who have ever suffered injustice and vile, abusive treatment. He encounters a compassionate, loving disciple who wipes a vulgar spit and mocking blood from his face. On her veil, Veronica discovers the image of his face, his gift to her, and for us to contemplate forever. What does the face of Jesus hold for me? What do I see as I look deeply into his face in prayer? Can I try to comfort the ones around me who are in agony and pain? Those people are true icons of his gift of himself. In wonder and awe, I behold his face now wiped clean, and see the depth of his suffering and solidarity with all flesh. I silently express my gratitude.
The seventh station. Jesus falls the second time. Even with Simon's help, Jesus stumbles and falls to the ground. In deep exhaustion, he stares at the earth beneath him. He has seen death before. Now he can feel the profound weakness of disability and disease and aging itself, there on his knees under the weight of his cross. I contemplate Jesus brought very low. As I behold him there on the ground, with all the agony taking its toll on him, I let my heart go out to him. I silently store up this image in my heart, knowing that I will not be alone in my suffering or in any lessening of myself, with this image of Jesus on the ground before me.
My name is Michael Collins, and I am the proud son of Colonel John J. Collins, Jr. As great as my father has been throughout my childhood, my family has had struggles because of his absence. My father has held two jobs, a civilian job and serving in the reserves of the world's greatest air force. Balancing two jobs has made him continually travel around the nation and call for deployments that have taken him to one of the most dangerous parts of the world, which is the Middle East. Throughout my childhood, on birthdays, various special events, from graduations to sport games, my father cannot attend, but I am fortunate enough when he is home, he makes every effort to come support my family. The struggles of his absence has caused me to mature at a younger age to help support and be there for my family. Although it has been difficult with my father not always being there, it has caused my family to appreciate family time even more, which I believe has been the better good God has made out of his absence. Not having a parent around I know is difficult and even worse with the loss of a parent. My family has also experienced that struggle with the loss of my Uncle John. My Uncle John lost his battle to cancer when my cousins and siblings were at a very young age. As difficult it has been for my cousins, I believe God has helped my family by bringing all of us closer together. My family, with the temporary absence of my father and permanent for my uncle, we have shared great memories throughout, from traveling to small get-togethers. The loss and absence of a parent or loved one causes severe struggles. Although the loss or absence has allowed me to view it as bringing my family closer together, Jesus shared the same feeling as he may feel when he was alone with pain, fear, and loss from a second fall. I have and will continue to pray for my family in good times and bad, because that is what we have believed helps, and it has. I recommend when there are struggles in your life, turn to close friends, family, professional help, and most importantly, God. God assists in different ways, some understandable and some not, but regardless, from my experience, I recommend to turn to God in good times and bad. God bless you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful Easter break and spend time with your family.
Jesus meets the women of Jerusalem. The women of Jerusalem have come out to comfort and thank Jesus. They had seen his compassion and welcomed his words of healing and freedom before. He had broken all kinds of social and religious rules to connect with them. Now they are here to support him. He feels their grief. He suffers, knowing he can't remain to help them more in this life. I look at their faces, so full of love and gratitude, loss and fear. I contemplate what words might have passed between them. I remember all his tender, compassionate, merciful love for me. This relationship that is so loving is available to me also. I silently place myself with these women who support him. The ninth station, Jesus falls the third time. This last fall is devastating. Jesus can barely proceed to the end. Summoning all this remaining strength, supported by his inner trust in God, Jesus collapses under the weight of the cross. His executioners look at him as a broken man, pathetic, yet paying a price he deserves. I pause to contemplate him there on the ground. I think of all the times I have chosen to fall into sin. The guards help Jesus up so that he can make it up the hill of crucifixion. His brokenness is what makes me whole, his surrender that gives me life. I pause to experience and receive how completely he loves me. He is indeed completely poured out for me. The 10th station, Jesus is stripped. Part of the indignity in being crucified is to be stripped. Jesus is stripped of any human pride that is left in him. The wounds on his back are torn open again. He experiences the ultimate vulnerability of the defenseless. No shield or security protects him. As the guards stare at him, his eyes turn to heaven. I pause to watch the stripping. I contemplate all that is taken from him, and how he faces his death with such nakedness and loneliness. I silently reflect upon how much of himself he has revealed to me. I ask, what is it that holds me back from my relationship with Jesus and others? As I look at him in his humility, I am humbled that this is for me. The 11th station, Jesus is nailed to the cross. Jesus is bleeding much more seriously now. His hands and feet are fixed on the cross. As he hangs on the cross, the weight of his life hangs on those nails. Every time he struggles to pull himself up to breathe, his ability to cling to life slips away. He starts to suffocate, and I have to force myself to watch. As I watch his face, I reflect upon the completeness of his entry into our lives. Can there be any pain or agony he would not understand? This is for me. Nailed to a cross to forever proclaim liberty to captives. I silently ask myself, what is holding me captive? What sorrow and gratitude fill my heart? The 12th station, Jesus dies on the cross. With only his mother, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James the Younger and of Joses, Salome and John the beloved apostle to support him, Jesus surrenders his last breath to his Father in heaven by saying,
"Into your hands I commend my spirit."
I stand there at the foot of the cross,
side by side with all of humanity, and behold, our salvation. I carefully watch and listen to all that is said, and then I experience the one who gives life, pass from life to death for me. I remember all the people I have consoled, and all who have comforted me in times of loss. I silently express my gratitude to Jesus and all who have been there with him in his darkest hours. Hi, my name is Emily. After something tragic happens, it's very hard to believe that we will ever be whole or see light again. When Jesus died, his followers, friends, and family were in a dark place and believed they would never be happy again. But only 3 days later, they were filled with so much joy, and the feeling of wholeness returned. Joy can be unexpected, and there are even times we don't even know we're expecting something great until we reflect on a bad situation to see the good in it. For me, one of the worst situations is my parents' divorce, and I know it's extremely cliche because divorce is so common nowadays. But when I went to Catholic school, I went to a very Catholic elementary school where divorce was not common and sometimes even frowned upon. My mom was removed from president of the Parent Association, and my dad was no longer allowed to finish his process of becoming a member of the Catholic Church. I was around 8 years old and understood that separation meant leading to divorce. I remember being sat down on our living room couch one night, and every night after that, my dad didn't sleep home and I didn't know why. I'm the oldest sibling and was affected by it the most, and I still am. I vaguely remember being told my parents were going to hell for getting divorced, and I can't remember if it was a nightmare or if my classmates told me their parents told them. I used to have constant nightmares about being lost between my two houses or my parents forgetting about me. I sought comfort in my friends, and one of the people to bring me the most joy was my really good friend Maddie and Deanna. Maddie, you and your parents took me in whenever I needed, and you gave me the happiness I needed in such a time of sadness. I can't thank you enough for the endless trips to California, Roland, and I'm so glad to be experiencing high school and graduation with you, and seeing how far you've come has been such a blessing. It's been almost 10 years since my parents' divorce, and as horrible as it's been, so much good has come out of it. My mom, who's by far the strongest woman I have ever met, has grown so much as a person, and to watch her become stronger, better, and kinder every day has been such a blessing. My dad has become a better dad, and he goes above and beyond to do whatever his family needs, and I'm so appreciative of that. My siblings were and continue to be a constant source of happiness in my life. My sister Olivia is my absolute best friend, and I can honestly say I have no idea how I'm going to survive college without her next year. If you know me at all, you know that she does my hair and makeup constantly for me, so I'm unsure of how I'll be able to do that next year without her. She's my outlet for everything, and having someone you know that you can always count on no matter what is one of the best feelings that I can have. My brother Ethan is also the sweetest, most genuine person I've ever met, and he consistently puts others before himself, and I honestly can say I'm so proud to be his sister. Another person I never would have come to know without my parents' divorce is my 4-year-old brother Ryan. He's definitely not the easiest to be around, but when you're asked the question, "Will you still be my sister when you're in college?" it's hard not to cry. Without my parents' divorce, I never would have met one of the two of the most amazing step-parents who treat me like their own child, and I call them my bonus parents because they're just a little extra. You see, in the midst of sadness and chaos, it's so hard to believe that there will ever be light in your life again, or that there will be anything great past the sadness, and you think that there is. Every single day I thank God for my messed up family, because we may not be ideal or white picket fence perfect, but I wouldn't trade them for anything. The point is that there are always going to be people or events in your life that are negative or make you feel bad about yourself. But there are going to be positive people and things that remind you that everything is going to be okay and that you are going to do great things because you are. If you're sad, lost, or alone, remember that you can rise and that there is joy in the resurrection. Thank you. The 13th station. Jesus is taken down from the cross. What tender morning! Jesus has truly died, a profound sacrifice complete. I behold the scene at the foot of the cross, and I remember his mother touching, caressing his face. I remember all the people that his hands have touched, all who have been blessed by his warm embrace. I pause to let it soak in. Jesus knows the mystery of death. He has fallen into God's hands. He has done this for me, that I might love as I have been loved. I silently pour my heart out to the God of all mercies.
Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? When you flip the bed, the baby is the great I am. Mary, did you know?
The 14th station. Jesus is laid in the tomb. Joseph of Arimathea, a respected member of the council, who was also himself looking for the kingdom of God, gives his own tomb for Jesus. He and the guards, followed by those who stayed with him, have taken the body of Jesus to its resting place. In this final act of surrender, who would have imagined this tomb would soon be empty, or that Jesus would show himself alive to his disciples, or that they would recognize him at the breaking of the bread? Oh, that our hearts may burn within us as we realize how he had to suffer and die so we could enter his glory for us. I pause to contemplate this act of closure in his life. In solidarity with all humanity, his body is taken to its grave. This final journey of his life has shown the meaning of his gift of himself for me. This cross represents every cross I carry with fear and defeat, struggling to believe I could ever be meaningful. In the fullness of faith in the risen one, given by his own Holy Spirit, I express my gratitude for this way of the cross. I ask Jesus, whose hands, feet, and sides still bear the signs of this journey, to grant me the graces I need to take up my cross, to be a servant of his own mission.
Hi, for some of you who don't know me, my name is Janelle. I heard once that martyrdom by pinpricks is much more painful than martyrdom by beheading. Do you ever feel like you're drowning and you can't get a breath of air, and you feel this weight on your chest? Like you're looking up trying to find air and it's all darkness? Do you ever feel as if you're being jabbed by burdens, all those little things we get hit with, and now it's a huge burden? How do you think Jesus felt with everything he had to encounter, but still had to walk to his death? Jesus felt alone, but in reality he wasn't. He prayed to his Father, but obviously didn't get an answer. We just heard him cry out. So even though he had people with him who loved him, he didn't feel the support from the one who supported him the most throughout his life, his Father in heaven. Judas betrayed him, his friends fell asleep on him, Peter denied him, and Jesus was whipped, beaten, stripped, and killed. High school. By age 17, you're expected to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. If you have sports, theater, tests, homework, it's constantly building up and we get so worried. People don't sleep, they don't eat, and life becomes exactly as if you're drowning and you can't get that breath of air. The standards of what you have to live up to can be overwhelming. You have to be careful because it feels as if you look at someone the wrong way, there'll be all this drama. It feels as if you're walking on glass, one wrong step, and you're shattered. I just darkened the mood, didn't I? Just think, in a few days we'll be happy, rejoicing, eating chocolate. And I need to tell you something. You are not alone. Jesus' Father was there, and you might feel as if you're alone, as he did, but you're really not. There's always someone there to listen. You have to seek them out. You have to talk. You have to be brave enough to take that risk. So you have that weight in your chest, and you take that breath by talking to someone. And then it's like that weight is gone, and you can breathe. It's so refreshing. It's like someone threw you a lifesaver and pulled you up out of your darkness. Jesus died for us, and there was so much good that came out of it. We can go to heaven because he paid the price for all of our sins. We get to go to heaven. In the midst of the struggle, you have to keep the mindset that even though you're alone and it feels hard, there will be light. It will all work out. Resurrection will happen. There will be light. But you have to do the work. Even if you're scared, be your own light in the darkness. Jesus will be your match to start your blaze of happiness and well-being.
Sophia, can we have the house lights, please? Thank you very much. Thank you. Now I'd like the cast of stations to come out and take a bow. This couldn't have happened without the work of some very talented people. Katie Smith, Sophia Suma, Miss Shalashi, stand up, take a bow. Mr. Pratt, on top of The Sound of Music, is trying to juggle Abby and James to sing Mary Did You Know? Mr. Pratt, please stand up. Janelle said is so absolutely true. You are not alone. You're not alone. I once heard someone say, a preacher, it's Friday, but Sunday's coming. Sometimes it feels like it's Good Friday from us. But you have to know that Easter Sunday is here. We have to believe it. We have to walk like we believe it. We have to believe it. We have to treat everybody else as if they are part of our Easter Sunday.